Hey guys, how are you? My name is Lisa and I am the Self Mastery Princess. And on this channel, we discuss the art of self mastery because when you master yourself, you master the world. So, you guys know I was telling you about my all time favorite book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And this time, this is probably like my sixth time reading it. I wanted to give you guys an actual breakdown because this book is life changing. I mean, definitely in my all-time favorite book collection. So yesterday I talked about the mind chatter, what's going on, getting out your mind. So today we're going to be talking about chapter 3. If you're following along with the book, how to get acquainted with the now. This chapter, it really helps you understand how to be present, because here's the thing. So many times people say be present, be in the moment, que sera sera, YOLO. We hear all these different things, but what is the actual practical way we get there? And that's what I want to talk about. So I'm going to be pulling out some very key points from this chapter that's going to change your life. The first thing, in this chapter, it talks about your life versus your life situation. So for example, nothing is wrong with your life. You might have something going on in your life situation. Let's say you get a flat tire. In that moment you get the flat tire, that's a life situation. Your life is fine. There's no issues with your life in that moment. And that's what he talks about. So even when something happens, let's say you have a bad boss, relationship issues, these are all life situations. If you stop, take a breath, and look at your life right now, you will start to see that you don't have any issues in your life. This moment, this second, you have issues in your life situations, and those are inevitable. So that was a huge game changer for me, because now when obstacles and things like that come about in my life, I don't over dramatize it. I don't go crazy. I understand that that's a life situation, not my actual life. And if you think about it, even if you lose your job, even if something traumatic happens, the house burns down, that's not your life. Your life is your being, your essence, your soul, this moment. It's who you are in this moment. And that's the part you need to understand, because think about it. I used to be the type of person, any little thing that happened, I would get so overwhelmed. I would get upset. It would literally ruin my day. Understanding this concept of life for its life situations, it helps me to understand that although a life situation might be happening, I am still here. I still have my life. And in this now moment, there is nothing wrong with my life, and the life situation will work itself out like the other billions of life situations have. So that's one key to note in this chapter. The second thing, there are no problems, only situations to deal with now or to release. Now, this is a big one, and I've talked about this on other videos. Back to if we're going off the life situation, if you have a problem, there's no problems. There are only things and situations to deal with now or to release. So let's say something is going wrong. Let's go back to the flat tire example. You got a flat tire. You got 3 options. You can either change it, change the flat tire, get back on the road. You can accept that you have the flat tire. Hopefully you have full coverage. You call the insurance, they will get AAA. Or you can change how you relate to it, which means you can just release it and just say, okay, I have this. Those are your options. Anything outside of that, is just no solution. It's you being addicted to suffering. And a lot of the time we don't realize it, but we are actually addicted to suffering. So for instance, in that situation where let's say you have a flat tire, instead of you using one of those 3 options, what do? You call people on your phone, you go on Facebook, you go on Instagram, you yourself, you're getting mad. And the thing is, you're releasing pain, which is going to ignite that mental chatter. If you just look at every situation like, I got 3 options, I can change it, I can accept it, or I can change how I relate to the situation, life becomes a lot more easy. It becomes a lot more doable because you have those three options. And you either can choose to deal with it right now in this moment, or you can choose to deal with it at a later date. But you don't need to make that your life. That's just a life situation. And a lot of the time with these type of things that may happen to us, we tend to make an identity behind it. We tend to want to tell people. We want to, like, we're so proud of that story, right? Like, we all have these stories, and I'm definitely guilty of this, where it's like, I did this and I came through all of this and this and that. And it's like, release all identification from the past. Be in the now. Life is moving. You're becoming a new person in every moment. There is no need to, constantly talk about old problems, new problems. Be in this present moment. So that's that point. And then also thing he talks about in this chapter, he says that when you create a problem, you create pain. And I felt that, because I'm like, wow, especially as ladies, a lot of the time, we don't realize it, but think about how you feel in your body when you're like going off on somebody. You feel tight in your chest, and that is literally releasing pain in your body. And I'm learning as I grow every day, nobody is worth that kind of energy. They're just not worth it. It's not worth it. No job is worth it. No person is worth it. If people aren't treating you right, if things aren't going the way, you already have the cheat code. You already know what to do. Change the situation, accept the situation, or change how you relate to the situation. There is no reason people should be causing your blood capillaries to tighten up, to contract, to expand at a rapid rate. The only time you should be having your heart rate pump at that high is when you're working out. But other than that, you should not allow people, places, or things to be able to ignite this emotional response, because it literally releases pain in your body and you can get sick. Rheumatoid arthritis, anxiety attacks, panic attacks, mental health. These are all diseases that come from the body, releasing pain, resentment, not forgiving people. I promise you, nobody is worth that kind of pain. It's okay. You are going to get your desires. Things are going to work out for you. If you feel like you need to, get to that level with people for them to understand you, you really need to reevaluate, because the thing is, when you release that kind of pain in your body, you're opening up a can of worms that you don't want to have to deal with. And there's a lot of people in the hospital, sitting in the hospital. They may have a sickness, but they holding on to that kind of anger, resentment, hate for other people, which is making them feel bad, making them feel worse. So I'm just here to let you know, don't, as best as you can, try not to create unnecessary pain in your body. And I love that he talks about this in this chapter. The next topic, he says this, and this Eckhart Tolle, he's an amazing author. He says nothing real can be threatened. And that's another new core belief that I've been instilling in my life. Nothing real can be threatened. Like, if something is for you, it can't miss you. You don't have to do hula hoops, gymnastic jumps. Like, you don't have to put so much energy and effort. When something is real, when it's real, it can't be threatened. If it's authentic to you, if it's meant for you, no man can stop that. And that's where it's important to have a spiritual component in your life and really trust God and understand that you can't miss what's for you. You can't miss the opportunity, that relationship, that business. If it's for you, it's going to be for you, period. But so many times we get into this rut where we want to force and cajole and coerce, and we're releasing pain. Pain is coming up. The chest start getting tighter. It's all right here. When you're releasing pain, you get all right here. No, you can be relaxed. No, and know that what's for you, you can't miss it. And know, like Eckhart Tolle said, nothing real can be threatened. And I love that, because that gives me so much peace. And if you are being true and authentic to yourself, you need to understand, you might not know where you're going every single day. The path might be looking a little murky, but at the end of the day, if you know in your heart you're real, you're authentic, you're being true to yourself, you have nothing to worry about. And trust me when I tell you, your desires are going to come knocking on the door for you. So I really love when he said that. The next point, the now. Getting acquainted with the now. A lot of the time we look and we say, oh, when I get married, when I have kids, when I make $1 million. Wrong. All the future is going to be is a combination of your past experiences and the thought. So you can't do anything about the past. You really can't worry too much about the future. But in between this present moment, this now, that's what's going to dictate your future. So one thing he talks about in this chapter, he says, instead of always saying you look forward to this day, you look forward to that day, look forward to this now moment. When you're washing your hands, when you're eating your food, when you're doing your hair, you're doing your makeup, you're driving in a car, you're looking at the sky, the now. Focus on the now moments. Let that be the most important moment of your life. It might sound silly, but ever since I started reading this book, washing the dishes, I'm smiling. This is the best moment of my life. This is what I'm preparing myself for something. I don't know what it is, but I'm enjoying the moment. I'm enjoying my food. I'm enjoying making this video because this right here is now. And now is all you have. That's all you've ever had. You can't do nothing about the past, and you don't know what the future is going to be. So all you have in this time and space is this right now moment. That is it. That's the only thing you have control over. And he also talks about living a life where you're living every single moment to a means to an end. You're in the present moment. You're always thinking about what's next. You're always talking about a to-do list. You're always trying to check off boxes. You're not even looking up to see how far you've come, to see how good God has been. And I'm very guilty of this. And I had to stop and take a second and say, hold up. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I don't need to be rushing. I don't need to be stressing. I'm on track. I'm enjoying this moment in this time, space, and reality. You don't want to wake up one day and see that all you were doing was just rushing to the next thing. Because if you can't appreciate where you're at right now, when you get that next thing, that next job, more money, the relationship, whatever, you're not going to appreciate it because you haven't been building your system up to really feel the now and really feel the moment and be able to look up at the clouds. Another thing you can do, even if it's for 2 seconds, look up at the cloud and just breathe twice. Start small. And I know this is a new world for a lot of y'all, but just start small. Put on your phone alarm. Go outside, look at the sky, and just breathe twice and just, the sky looked beautiful today. And work your way up. Start to be more observant. You only have this moment, this now moment. And I am like so excited to talk about this book because like when I speak to you guys, I'm speaking to myself. So I really hope that you guys are enjoying my summaries of the chapters. Drop into the comments below. Let me know if you have had issues being in a now moment, always overthinking the next thing. Let me know if you have anything to add. You guys know I love your feedback. Do me a favor, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Hit my Facebook link. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.